Welcome to SS1 Music. This lesson introduces music technology, specifically MIDI and digital audio workstations, the tools that have transformed how music is created, recorded, and produced in the 21st century. Music technology skills are increasingly relevant to musicians, composers, and producers across all genres, and are particularly important in Nigeria's thriving music production industry. MIDI stands for Musical Instrument Digital Interface. MIDI is a communication protocol, a standard language, that allows electronic musical instruments, computers, and other digital devices to send and receive musical information. MIDI was developed in 1983 as a universal standard so that instruments from different manufacturers could communicate with each other. MIDI does not transmit audio, it does not record sound. Instead, MIDI transmits performance data: which note was played, when it was played, how hard it was pressed, velocity, and how long it was held. When a musician plays a note on a MIDI keyboard, the keyboard sends a MIDI message saying, "Note C4 started at time 1 minute and 23 seconds with velocity 85. A computer or synthesizer receiving this message then plays that note using its own sound library. The separation of performance data from sound means that MIDI can be edited after recording. You can change the pitch of individual notes without re-recording. You can correct timing errors. You can change the instrument sound from piano to strings without replaying anything. This flexibility makes MIDI an essential tool in modern music production. MIDI is used in music production studios in Lagos. The studios where Nigerian pop and Afrobeats hits are produced use MIDI keyboard controllers, MIDI drum pads, and MIDI-controlled synthesizers extensively. A MIDI controller is an instrument that sends MIDI data but produces no sound itself. It relies on connected software or hardware to make the actual sound. A DAW, digital audio workstation, is software used to record, edit, mix, and produce music on a computer. The DAW is the central hub of a modern recording studio, replacing the enormous multi-track tape machines of earlier decades. A DAW displays music as a timeline, with different tracks stacked vertically. Each track can contain either audio recordings, actual recorded sound, or MIDI data connected to a software instrument. Common DAW software used in Nigerian music production includes FL Studio, also known as Fruity Loops, which is widely used by Afrobeats producers and is associated with many hit productions, Pro Tools, the industry standard in professional recording studios worldwide, Ableton Live, used for both production and live performance, Logic Pro, available only on Mac computers, popular for its high-quality built-in instruments and effects, and GarageBand, a free, simplified version of Logic Pro. Available on all Apple devices, suitable for beginners. The DAW workflow in modern Afrobeats production typically involves: the producer creates a drum pattern using MIDI drum pads or programmed on screen in the DAW's piano roll. Melodic and harmonic elements are added using MIDI keyboard controllers playing software synthesizers. The beat is looped and the artist records their vocals over it. The mix engineer balances levels, adds effects, and creates the final stereo mix. A mastering engineer then applies final processing to prepare the track for release on streaming platforms. Several technical concepts are important for understanding music technology. Sampling means recording a short sound, called a sample, from a real instrument, a vinyl record, or any other source, and then using it as a musical building block in a new composition. Drum samples, recordings of individual drum hits, are the foundation of most produced music today. A sampler is the device or software that plays back these samples. Synthesis means generating sound electronically using oscillators, electronic circuits that produce a waveform, and shaping that sound with filters and envelopes. A synthesizer is an electronic instrument that generates sound through synthesis. Common synthesis types include subtractive synthesis, additive synthesis, and FM synthesis. Effects processing means applying electronic effects to audio to alter its character. Common effects used in Nigerian music production include reverb, simulating the acoustic space of a room or hall, delay or echo, repeating a sound at set intervals, compression, reducing the dynamic range to make a recording sound more consistent and punchy, equalization or EQ, boosting or cutting specific frequency ranges to shape the tonal balance, and autotune or pitch correction, adjusting the pitch of vocal recordings to correct imperfections or create the deliberately artificial. Autotune vocal effect characteristic of much contemporary pop and Afrobeats. Music technology is central to Nigeria's music industry. The producers responsible for the sound of Afrobeats, Kelpie who produced Temza's Free Mind which won a Grammy, Fields who produced Buga, Don Jazzy who built the Maven Records sound, P. Prime who produces Rema, Young John, Killer Tunes, and many others, are highly skilled music technologists who use DAWs, MIDI, synthesizers, and sampling to create the distinctive Afrobeat sound. Home studios, small recording setups built in spare rooms using a computer, audio interface, microphone, headphones, and DAW software, have democratized music production in Nigeria. Many successful Afrobeats tracks have been produced in home studios with modest equipment. The most important ingredient is creative skill and knowledge of music and music technology, not expensive equipment. For young Nigerians interested in music production, Krita and Audacity are free tools for beginners. FL Studio and Logic Pro are the next step, and understanding MIDI, sampling, synthesis, and effects processing provides the technical foundation for a music production career. Today we covered that MIDI is a communication protocol transmitting musical performance data, not audio. MIDI allows note editing, timing correction, and instrument changes without re-recording. A DAW is software used to record, edit, mix, and produce music on a computer. Popular DAWs include FL Studio, Pro Tools, Ableton Live, Logic Pro, and GarageBand. Key music technology concepts include sampling, synthesis, and effects processing including reverb, delay, compression, EQ, and pitch correction. Nigerian producers using these tools are creating music with global impact. For your exercise, if you have access to a smartphone, download GarageBand, iOS, or a free DAW and explore creating a simple 4-bar drum pattern using the built-in sounds.